How do factories create fudgesicles that are frozen yet velvety soft? Well, strap in, because we're about to go deep into the delicious, chocolatey underworld of fudgesicle manufacturing. And trust me, once you see how thousands of these frozen treats are made every hour without turning into icy chocolate bricks, you'll never look at dessert the same way again. Before we dive into a fudgesicle factory, let's be clear about what a fudgesicle is. Because if you think it's just a chocolate-flavored popsicle, you're missing a huge, creamy piece of the puzzle. When you try to DIY a fudgesicle, you usually end up with a hard, frozen chocolate chunk on a stick. It's tough to get that creamy texture. That's because the fudgesicles you buy are the result of meticulous food science and industrial precision. A factory-made fudgesicle is a marvel of food engineering. It suspends microscopic fat globules and sugar crystals to prevent the formation of large, crunchy ice crystals. This ensures it stays soft enough to bite into, melts just right, and delivers that perfect, rich chocolate taste every time. None of this happens by accident. The key lies in striking a delicate balance of ingredients and adhering to an exact process. Water is important, but without a crafted blend of milk solids, cocoa, sugar, and special stabilizers, you'd get a rock-hard brick. Regular popsicles use sugar to lower the freezing point, creating softer ice. Fudgesicles also do this, but in addition use fat from milk or dairy-free alternatives. This fat adds creaminess and, crucially, interferes with the formation of large ice crystals, resulting in that signature smooth texture. Stabilizers like guar gum or xanthan gum work tirelessly, preventing crystals from growing too large and stopping separation. This is why homemade versions often end up icy, while factory-made ones are consistently creamy and smooth. With the recipe perfected, it's time for factory-scale production. This is where things get cool, making that creamy dream a reality for millions. Before anything can be frozen, factories create massive amounts of the fudgesicle base. The amount of liquid chocolatey mix produced could fill several small swimming pools. If those pools existed, they'd be the most delicious ever. Giant gleaming stainless steel vats are filled with filtered water, dairy, or dairy-free alternatives, sugar, and the premium cocoa blend for that signature deep chocolate flavor. The quality of cocoa is paramount for an authentic chocolate experience. Once ingredients are measured, massive mixing paddles gently swirl everything. This ensures sugar dissolves and cocoa disperses, creating a smooth, homogeneous chocolate slurry. Next, the liquid mix undergoes pasteurization and homogenization. First, it is heated to kill bacteria for safety and longevity, then immediately cooled. Homogenization is vital for fudgesicle creaminess. The mix is forced through tiny openings at high pressure, breaking fat globules into much smaller, uniform particles. Think of it like grinding sand into superfine powder. This makes fudgesicles feel smooth on your tongue and prevents a greasy or separated texture from forming. Without homogenization, fat could separate, leading to an icy product. Once processed, the mix is piped to the high-speed freezing line. This is where the real magic happens, the rapid transformation from liquid to solid. Homemade freezing takes hours. In a fudgesicle factory, liquid mix turns into a frozen treat in minutes, sometimes just 10 to 15. The secret is super chilled freezing molds and efficient cold transfer. The cooled mix is pumped into thousands of perfectly shaped stainless steel molds. These molds are submerged in a continuously flowing bath of liquid coolant, often a brine solution, maintained at incredibly low temperatures, sometimes as low as -40 degrees Fahrenheit or -5 degrees Celsius. The moment the chocolatey liquid hits those ultra-cold molds, freezing begins instantly. Unlike gradual home freezing, this industrial rapid method forms tiny ice crystals and traps air bubbles. This gives the fudgesicle its incredibly smooth, airy texture, rather than a dense, crack-prone ice block. The precise timing is critical to maintain a soft texture and prevent cracking. But wait, something's missing. Just before the Fudgesicles are fully solid, while they're still a bit slushy, an automated machine takes over. It precisely inserts wooden sticks into the exact center of each mold. Each stick is placed with micro-precision, ensuring the correct depth and angle. Once the sticks are in place and the Fudgesicles are frozen, it's time to remove them from the molds. But frozen things love to cling, so what's the ingenious solution? A quick, precisely timed dip in a warm bath. Before removal, the metal molds are briefly dipped in warm water, just long enough to create a super thin melted layer, loosening the treats. This prevents thermal shock and cracking. Then, in one smooth, precise motion, a robotic arm lifts thousands of perfectly frozen Fudgesicles out of their molds in unison. It's an oddly satisfying sight, like a perfectly synchronized dance, but with creamy, chocolatey desserts. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and bell buttons. And just like that, Fudgesicles are born. But their journey isn't over. There's still the high-speed race to get them packaged, stored, and shipped to millions. Now that Fudgesicles are frozen and free from their molds, it's time to move fast. And I mean really fast. When your product can melt, the clock is always ticking. The freshly unmolded Fudgesicles are immediately sent down a lightning-fast conveyor belt. These advanced conveyor systems move them from the freezing line to wrappers in mere seconds, sometimes through chilled tunnels to prevent any warming. These systems often have precise guides and mechanical fingers gently cradling each Fudgesicle. Each Fudgesicle is then grabbed by high-speed mechanical arms and wrapped in airtight plastic. Ever notice how Fudgesicle wrappers are sealed super tightly, with no air pockets? That's intentional. The airtight seal keeps out moisture and prevents freezer burn, preserving that creamy texture and flavor. It ensures your Fudgesicle stays as fresh as at the moment it was made. After wrapping, they're bundled into multi-packs, often by robotic arms, then quickly sorted and whisked off to enormous freezer storage rooms. These industrial freezers operate at -20 degrees Fahrenheit or colder, ensuring Fudgesicles stay rock solid until shipped. With Fudgesicles safely packed and stored, the next challenge is getting them to you before they melt. That's where frozen logistics, a marvel of modern supply chains, comes in. Fudgesicles are loaded onto specialized refrigerated trucks, essentially mobile freezers, traveling across the country, keeping icy perfection intact. These trucks have advanced temperature monitoring systems, ensuring that not a single degree rises above the critical freezing point. If there's a problem, alarms sound, and backup generators kick in. Once at grocery stores, they're quickly unloaded into store freezers, ready for you to purchase them. Ever wonder why store freezers have thick, transparent doors? It's not just energy efficiency. It helps keep cold air in, while letting you see your options. Every time you open that door, warm air rushes in, making freezers work overtime. So the next time you stand there deciding, just know you're making those freezers sweat a little. Now let's sprinkle in some delightful Fudgesicle history. Did you know the Fudgesicle has a direct lineage to the classic popsicle? Frank Epperson invented both. Back in 1905, when he was just 11 years old, he accidentally left a stirring stick and a glass of soda powder and water on his porch overnight. It froze, and thus the original Epsicle was born. Years later, he patented it, and eventually the idea evolved into what we know as popsicles. The Fudgesicle, with its creamy base, was a natural progression, offering a richer, less icy alternative to his fruit-flavored creations. Their popularity has endured for decades precisely because of that unique, creamy texture that sets them apart from regular ice pops. It's the perfect bridge between an ice cream bar and an ice pop, offering a unique blend of refreshment and indulgent creaminess. So there you have it, a deep dive into the fascinating high-tech world of Fudgesicle production. Now we have to ask, are you team Fudgesicle or Popsicle? Let us know in the comments. And if you love this journey into factory-made frozen treats, be sure to check out our Popsicle video. Until next time, stay cool and thanks for watching.